True crime, tale site, and everything else. World of YouTube. True crime, a tale site, and everything else. Going over the video from the Lars German missing person. Now, this is supposedly at the airport, and I will let it consistently run. Of course, I got this off another YouTube or whatever thing, but of course I recorded it just to get a glimpse and study it myself. And I can honestly say, and in one of the articles claims that this guy ran out of a doctor's office at the airport doing an examination of if he was well enough to fly. Now, very interestingly, I don't get that. As you see him coming towards the door there looking at cut off. Now, whether or not he went around back of that area where he's coming from, where was he going if he was looking for a so-called, I would say, doctor's office? I would assume they would have, doctors' offices for psychiatrical evaluation, or if someone maybe gets sick on a plane in an airport. I never flown much. I have flown, but I never, of course, used that system. And right here, as you see him looking in the doorway to whatever that is, and then he's coming back around. It's like he stopped there, looked, and maybe hung right where that lady was going. Also, you can see him talking to the lady. Now, whether or not that lady was lost, which it does look like she was, it is interesting to know if they ever, asked her if that guy even looked distraught, if Lars looked distraught. Or even if they could have found her to interview her. That's one of the things I would have had done, was, as an investigator, try and find that woman. Whatever's in there, and him looking in there, like I say, he's probably, and then he's coming back around. Maybe he's looking for the office. And that right there with that lady, it looks like she was pointing that way, and he was saying, in that direction. Yeah, it would have been interesting to see what he was doing, but then again, he was probably trying to find that doctor's office. Now, him running out of the building at first, God dang nabbit. So, he's got a backpack, he's got a carry-on big travel bag. Of course, when he runs out, leaves him. And I can honestly say, they say he was on medication that made him delirious and delusional and blah. He doesn't look very delusional to me in this video. Even though I don't know what that drug is or ever seen anybody on it. But I have witnessed a delusional, but whatever drug the person I knew that was on is questionable. Would be, what the hell was he on? Because my older brother one time called us. Me and my father were home. I answered the phone. He's over here. I need a ride. I said, all right, where are you? I'm in a room. I said, what the hell? All right, what room? What house? I'm in a room with flowers. What the fuck? All right, you're in a room with flowers, but what's the address? What's the number? I'm asking him. He's like, get that. So I get my father on the phone. He's saying the same thing. I'm in a room with flowers. I need a ride. My father, where the fuck are you? What are you doing? How am I going to give you a ride when I don't have an address? And all of a sudden, the call was erupting and hung up. Didn't call back. But he did make it out alive to wherever he was. Unfortunately, because that jerk and his drugs, man, was just very disgusting throughout the years. But right here, he looks pretty alert. And to see someone and as I was going to say, to see someone distraught, and having hallucinations and stuff, they don't move around actively like this. If you're distraught, if you're delusional, like this person, like my brother that was in a room with flowers, and obviously he wasn't going nowhere. He's not active like this guy. There's a big key question. If he was hallucinating or levelers, where the hell is all this energy coming from? I would think that if someone's having one of them hallucination, they wouldn't be that active running around. I'm sorry. Especially looking, say so, for the doctor's office in the airport to check to see if he was, capable of flying. And I don't think he would be telling people, hey, over there, as he just hung his hand out. Yeah, over there. He wouldn't be he'd probably look at that woman if he was hallucinating. Who the hell are you? And another thing, the raves that were huge back in the early 2000s. Like I say, I went to one of them. You want to talk about seeing someone on hallucinating drugs? Whether or not this drug he was on is the same as hallucinating, whatever they used to do in the raves. Yeah, I had a guy being, escorted by 5 different people. Eyes bulging out of his head. Looked at me from a distance. And I seen him coming, but I tried to avoid him. I seen him looking, seen him doing some wacky crap. And before I could turn or go anywhere else, his hands in my chest. You are the devil! I'm like, what the fuck are you touching me for? I cocked my fist back. I was ready to punch him, but my friend, whoa, no, he's tripping. Yeah, tripping, all right. Gonna sit here, call me names and push me in my chest, and I was going backwards. I was trying to hold myself. I was trying to say, somebody get this guy off me, but he said, this ain't for you. I said, well, honey, man, I'm just doing, but I didn't know what the hell he was doing. I thought he was attacking me at first, but no, some people get a bad trip. And I would think that if someone had a hallucinating drug, now this drug, what they used to put out at the raves back in 2000 to make you do this stuff, I can't say it is any worse than the drug that he was on. I mean, it is worse than the drug that he was on. It is worse. So for people to say that this stuff could have made him hallucinate, just like even the Elisa story at the Cecil Hotel and her hallucinations with the friggin' medications, I don't think it gives you that much, or it's even that severe to make you do things like this, or Alyssa at the friggin' Cecil Hotel. Now, if it was an off-street drug, then yeah, I could see more happening, and then it would make it, him more. But he is very alert here. He's talking. You would think he would flip out or do something crazy like, hey, stop, who you talking to? Or paranoid, right? But getting into this and to say, and I read in the friggin' article, I forgot to save it, but I know it's out there, that someone walked into the room of his exam, and that takes a lot of BALLS, to do that, and just to say if you want somebody like they wanted him, obviously. But there had to have been more said than just an argument between some football games. To have someone say, you know what, I hate this guy so much, I want him killed. It's insane. There had to have been something, maybe more went down, and why someone wanted to put a friggin' hit on this poor man. But as I keep watching this, and here he comes bolting out. Now we'll get into the video here. There's no one chasing him though. This is, now anybody that's hallucinating, anybody that is on something, anybody right there when he's running out. And I'll get to my point in 1 minute. When you're in that mode and you are running away, say so with the hallucination of the drug, all right, there is no chance damn way in hell, as we get to this point again, if you're hallucinating and you are jetting out like this. What really caught my eye with this video, we'll get there in a sec, and if you're hallucinating, you won't do this. You will not do this. As we watch him run out, put his hand in his pocket, like secure whatever's in there, whether it be his wallet, a good chunk of money, whatever he put in there, or whatever was in his pocket. If you're hallucinating and you're on a drug, you're not going to sit there and say, oh, what's in my pocket? Is my thing in my pocket? If something's in your pocket that's important and you're hallucinating on a drug, you're not going to sit there and push that down to make sure it's secure so you can jet the hell out of there. I'm sorry. That's my number one thing on this. Because, right, if you're on a drug and they're claiming this guy could have been hallucinating, had some brain injury because, right, he must have got beat up. But for getting beat up, like they say, pretty bad, this guy got a lot of energy, boy. You would think he'd be grabbing his head, eardrum as he's running because of the severe pain of an ruptured eardrum. This guy don't, you know, if you were hallucinating in that too, that right there, that don't matter either. Let alone trying to stuff something in your pocket so it don't fall out because he's wearing shorts. You would think your brain would be, oh, and he'd be grabbing his head if he's hallucinating with drugs. All in all, this bolting out of here, to me, yeah, leads that. That's right. If you're hallucinating, you're gonna wanna, you know, run. You're running. If you're running with a ruptured eardrum, I'm sure you're bouncing. That is gotta be severe pain. Boom, boom. And to sit there and stuff something in your pocket. You're not doing that. If someone's chasing you, that eardrum's not gonna bother you. You're running for your life. You're checking what's in your pocket so you can get away. And yes, I do think that this had to do with murder. But what was said throughout the conversation where he left the bar and left his friends in that time, and who knows what happened in between there. And then he's talking about he's being followed. Damn right. He's being followed. And that's why he took off from that lady, I would assume, because who knows? He could have been thinking these people now bringing women up to trick me. Could have been an accomplice there, too. And, right. And in that, and we're going to get to that, too. But before this, you do see him stop and look behind. Now, if somebody's... now, yes, you could be... having an episode where you're, right, hallucinating, right, you're going to look behind and you're paranoid. But for what I've already said on this video, and for him to look behind, yeah, that's only because, right, I damn well believe that he has been being chased. And that girl, now that I think of, right, how do you know that person, that woman right there? Because if you're in a friggin' place where you're just vacationing. I mean, sometimes, don't get me wrong, I get people coming up to me asking questions. Like, hey, right there, he looks behind him and he's slowing down because, of course, he's probably out of breath at this point, especially running with that erupt eardrum. But here you can see him really jetting. And I would assume that whoever in the pursuit of him got to that point where he saw him. Like I say, everything I've already said about this video, how do you know, right? If that woman was an accomplice set up to say, hey, I gotta find this. And, oh yeah, it's over there. There he is. It's over there. And he walks away like, leave me alone. Now, if anybody's paranoid, they're not gonna just walk away. They're gonna think of crazy things. If they're gonna think of hallucinations, they're gonna think that, yeah, this person here, what do they want from me? Excuse me. But all in all, I'm telling you, if you're hallucinating, let alone, got an erupt eardrum, you're not going to be doing that stuff. You're going to be holding your head. You're going to be looking around. I think you would do more. Honestly, I could be safe to say, if you're hallucinating, you're going to have everything around you looking strange, looking weird. You're not going to be abruptly running away from things. I mean, I did see a kid tripping on acid one time. Yeah, I could say, and this is a perfect example. You would abruptly run away. But once again, we go to the fact of him reaching in his pocket. Him, taking his time before he bolts and looking around. Me and my friend went to go, I told this story before, but this is a perfect example of tripping, hallucinating. And this kid was doing acid, and we were going to his house in the neighborhood. We were walking there, it was summertime. All of a sudden, he comes running down from his house. I don't know if my other buddy called him to say, hey, we're on our way up, can you meet us outside? I think he did do that. But due to the fact that he tripped on acid, he come bolting down the street. Now, this is a perfect example. He's not reaching in his pockets. He's not, taking his time and trotting around like this guy at first. He was literally, choo! And when we caught him just before he, ran by us, and if we didn't stop him, and we almost didn't stop him, my friend was like, whoa, and he stopped him. He said, run, there's a huge effing snake. There's a big snake back there. He's coming after me. Huge snake. And he's talking about like he's seeing a freaking anaconda, right? And we stopped him only for that. And he shook my buddy off, like shook him, get off of me, and ran. We don't know where he went. We should have went after him, but I swear I can assure you that kid was hauling ass. And I mean, my buddy was like, well, we can't do nothing because I know he's just done some acid. And he'll be home. And back then, right, if someone knows somebody, right, even though we should have went after him, but yeah, he did make it home the next day, but who knows where he went that night. And we couldn't catch up with him anyways. I mean, it was like in disbelief of what the did he just say? What is he doing? And we thought, and we also thought he could have been pulling a prank. But he was like, no, I think it was on that. I don't think that was no joke. And oh my God, it's just insane. And the hallucinations, as they say, he had, Lars, he wouldn't take the time to stop and tell the woman where to go. He wouldn't take the time to stop and trot along and make sure whatever in his pocket is, down far enough so he can get ready to run. So, with that being said, I do believe with this surveillance that he was being pursued. He was being hunted. For whatever friggin' reason, them stupid idiots got all offended on a friggin' game. Oh my God, a team? Man, grow up. I think there might have been more to this than just that. You just can't go on the basic facts, because if the friends didn't see him for the night, and I don't know, man, they should have not have left him there either. Someone should have just said, "No, man, I'm staying with you." Just like we should have followed that kid and made him, but hey, and it's sad to say, but between the kid that we knew and this guy, he didn't have a pursuer on his ass. He didn't have to be worried about being hunted. He tripped, he ran, he did what he did and went home. This, on the other hand, where did they go? And what was that woman really doing there? Accomplice? Maybe? Whatever the case may be, I think he was being hunted. So, that's my analysis on this video. CTCVDV camera, whatever you want to call it. In all serious though, he got caught up in some real bad dudes. And if they were going into the office there just to check up on him and say, hey, I don't know, man. It's like, wow, what is really going out that end? But when you're in another country, folks, you really gotta be aware of what you're saying and doing. I mean, you could have people run up in your face, but, usually I would take that risk and say, shut the F up and blah, and defend myself. But when you're in another country, I don't think I would, unless they put their hands on me first. Then I'd throw some fists. But just to get riled up over a game, I'd make a joke out of it at the end. And, another country, you don't know what you're getting yourself into. That is definite. And I always try to keep my mouth, if I'm even in another state, to myself, unless someone, really gets under my skin. But that rarely happens. But whatever this guy did, man, I'm sorry. He just should have left it alone. But until that next video, be safe, take care, and hopefully one day this man is found. But unfortunately, I don't think he's gonna be with whatever he got himself hot-watered into. But let's give this man a moment of silence. Sorry for the background distortion level of the furnace, but hopefully one day someone gets some closure on the story and find whoever did this to him, because I honestly do think there was no damn delusion. There was no hallucination crap going on here. And authorities out there are probably just gonna leave it at that too, right? Sad, sick, and ridiculous. And whatever did happen to the guy that came into the room, what happened to him? But then again, right, could have friggin' disappeared, got into the car that was there. But still, and I read that in a friggin' article, so I think it's on Wikipedia. So that's the question. What happened to the guy, and what does his doctor say? Nothing on that either. And I've already seen 3 articles, so no interview, no investigation. What happened? Out.